Okay.
Okay, we're live. It's Tuesday, June 5th, 2018. Usually we start at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We started a little late today, as announced. So before we get into the topics, there's a couple things that we want to announce. Last week we mentioned the issue that happened at the Rankers Carnival. We that was the day that I got back to Northern California. That was the same day that we had the podcast, so we had to cover it. We wanted to cover it right away, not in detail, but we wanted to mention something as soon as we could. At the same time, we are taking this very seriously. It is a mistake that should not have happened. So we're addressing each point little by little. We have something ready to kind of post out there. So hopefully you guys would check that. It's our what we saw, what we noticed, the reasoning why that happened, and stuff that we're looking forward to resolve and also improve in future. Not just us, but also future event holders as well. So that's something we're gonna address. Masa, any words on that
Uh,
specifically?
Not really. I'm sorry. I'm checking the microphone right now. Hold on.
Okay,
One
okay.
second.
But again, those details will be addressed. Uh, yeah, so that's going to be addressed. In a few, maybe by the end of today. I can't guarantee that just yet, because we are working at different locations. Each one of us has our individual work. When we get off, that's when we start discussing all these things. So we've been discussing it every day,
Every night.
little by little, every night. Yes, every night. Yes. So yes, just let some of you guys know that that is in the works. Second topic, as some of you guys have noticed on the community, a very, very important figure in the Riichi Mahjong community has passed away. Takeda
Takeo.
Kojima Pro, I'm sorry, Kojima Pro has passed away. Mr. Mahjong was his nickname. Many of you guys have probably seen the Chuden video floating around the past week or so. It has been picked up by Yahoo News and some of the major newspapers in Japan. Very important figure, the first Kaicho, or the first president of Reme, Japan Mahjong Pro League. So yeah, very important figure, passed away. Um, I was lost for words. I couldn't really explain the things that we're going through, especially some of the people in Japan that are close with him. Masa, any memories of
Oh,
memorable?
a lot, a lot. My
A
first
lot.
time bought the books was written by Mr. Kojima, and
Hmm.
also I watched a lot of his video,
Hmm.
and I think he worked really hard. Not even like JPML, but before. So
Hmm.
I kind of like to check those like Mahjong Pro's history. So he
Hmm.
was one of the very important guy, and he worked really hard. So now we have I don't know I don't know what to say, but it's really sad.
Yeah. One of the key founders to make a professional organization in Japan. Also, he was one of the ones that saw this vision of spreading Riichi Mahjong to the world, and we see this growing as many of you guys have played and realized all these things. So, like to give a moment of silence for Kojima Pro. So, if we could do that right now, that'd be awesome. Okay. Um, so hopefully he is watching down on everybody when we play. Whether some of you guys may be playing today, or this coming weekend, or in coming events. Hopefully he will be smiling and giving us that extra juice that we sometimes need. Yeah. So it's Tuesday. Reach out to Mahjong episode 7. We have a special guest again today, Ryan. Um, who is going to be one of the main organizers for the upcoming Emerald Coast Riichi Open in Florida. Hopefully, I think Mr. Mahjong himself will be blessing you guys with this upcoming event. But without further ado, if Ryan, if you could introduce yourself, first who you are, which organization you're from. Second question would be how you got into Riichi Mahjong. Third question will be what your future goals are. And yeah, Ryan, take it away.
All right. First off, thank you guys for having me. I haven't done any interviews except for like WRC. But I'm Ryan Adams. I am from Panhandle Mahjong. We are a group located in the Panhandle of Florida. We're centered in Crestview, Florida, but we reach out to like Niceville, Destin, Walton Beach, even as far west as Pensacola, and as far east as Panama City. Got into Mahjong probably like 7 years ago. Got an iPad at the time, and I looked up some Mahjong games. I came across Jinryamon, and I'm like, oh, this is a legit Mahjong game, not tile matching. So I started playing it, and then I'm like, wait, why am I not winning? Why am I not? Because my mom was Filipino, so I kind of knew about Filipino style Mahjong.
Oh, like a lot of our guests, a lot of our guests has like a Filipino background.
Yeah. We actually have one of our members. His name is also Ryan, and I believe he is also a Filipino background. So.
Oh yeah, I think I played against.
Yes. I think you met him during the game. So.
Yeah.
It was a weird thing, like, and it reminded me of my mother because she would bring her friends over like Saturday night. They play Filipino style until like 5 o'clock in the morning, and they go to bed. I wake up and I see the tile in front of me. I'm just matching them together like it's like a game of memory. But when 2011 came around and I started getting into the game and also hearing that there was like animes for Mahjong, I'm like, okay, I can get into this. And I went to my dad and I'm like, hey, do you have Mom's Mahjong set by chance? And yeah, he let me have it because it's my memory of her. So she passed away when I was young, like when I was in 5th grade, so it's been a long time. But yeah, I started bringing that to the card shop, Game Masters Guild, and I started growing the group from that. Part of it was at the card shop, part of it was at the college that I work at, Northwest Florida State College. At the time, I was sponsored to this, what do we call it? It was, essentially it was an anime club. But every now and then we would introduce some Japanese things, and because I knew Mahjong, I threw in Mahjong one day, and a lot of the groups started to like it, so we kind of formed a subcommittee. So we had Mahjong subcommittee, and we just played Reach in the cafeteria. And then after a while, I mean, we're at state college, so students usually stay there for 2 years. So after 2 years, they went on to like Pensacola. So we kept the group going using Panhandle Mahjong. So that's how we stayed connected with each other.
Right. Future goals. Your personal future Mahjong goals.
Personal goals. After hearing the announcement today, I want to go to Venice and break the top 32 this time around. My track record, like the first WRC, I was like 73rd out of 120, and then this past one was 63rd out of 224. I'm like, that's the 25% mark. I need to cut it in half again. So I definitely want to go to Venice, qualify for that, and get in that top 32.
Okay.
And also playing some more tournaments as well. The faculty pretty much know my tournament schedule, and like I plan accordingly. So definitely going to be in New York for that tournament. And if the schedule's the same, yeah, I'll do Dallas. And if you guys have me back for Ranker, yeah, I'll be there for Ranker too.
Awesome. So just to make sure for some of you guys that haven't heard, the next WRC has been officially announced.
Yep, just announced.
The location is it's 2020, and it's gonna be in Vienna, Austria. So it's gonna be in Europe. It's gonna be a slightly farther trip for some of us here in the States. Pretty sure there's gonna be a lot more European players compared to this year, so that's gonna be pretty interesting. I've heard there's gonna be more of a qualifier now for the US. So let's see how many people from the US are actually gonna go or be able to go, qualified. And Ryan seems like he's very interested, so we might see you guys there. Not me personally, I don't know if we'll qualify, but I've never been to Europe before.
You-
Have you been to Europe before, Ryan?
Only under the 24th, the very first World Championship. That was
Oh.
Paris in July,
Mhm.
and it was pretty beautiful. I was
Oh.
not aware of the lack of AC there. And I felt
Okay.
bad for the Japanese pros because you always see Japanese pros in the jackets and everything. Yeah,
Yeah,
the first
yeah.
day they came up there and we were in a heat wave there. I looked
Oh.
across, yeah, I looked across the way and I saw 40 degrees centigrade or
Oh.
Celsius on the board, and like I did the math, I'm like, that's like 100 degrees. No wonder why.
Yeah.
Jackets.
Uh,
Second day, coat rack full.
yeah. I've read some of the blogs, and I did read that a lot of them were were pretty hot. Masa, have you been to Europe?
Never.
Never?
In my
Okay.
dream, yeah.
Hmm. So maybe for some of us here in the US, if we can't qualify or participate as a player, I'm actually kind of interested to go there just to observe and kind of cover it for the US crowd. But we'll see. Obviously going there as a player is more ideal. But gives me a reason to visit Europe. Yeah. But yes, Ryan, at the Rankers Carnival, after the semis, I think we interviewed you for a few minutes. There might be some, I guess, questions that would overlap. But earlier you said that you started off at a pretty much Japanese pop culture club,
Yes.
right? And I'm assuming you said you kind of taught them, you introduced mahjong to them, but because it's a pop culture club, were there specific animes that you kind of maybe showed them, or maybe some of the members already knew about that led to them playing mahjong?
They probably didn't know about the. Well, I did show them some clips like Saki and Akagi,
Okay.
but that was like the
Uh-huh.
main two. I
Uh-huh.
always mention.
Oh,
They got
okay,
other
okay.
enemies were shown there too.
Hmm. Did any of the members already know about those anime?
I don't think they did.
Oh, okay. So you were also not only introducing them to the game, but also to these new animes. What were they? What were the reactions to the animes before the game?
I think for one of them, they couldn't realize like how like into it people can get about mahjong, especially like
Oh,
watching the
really?
Saki anime. Just
Oh.
sliding the tiles over when you make a call, and like lightning strikes and things like that. It's like, did they
Did
mix
you
Dragon Ball Z into this?
did you give them a disclaimer saying that this does not usually happen in games?
Oh yeah. Too much, too expensive to recreate pyrotechnics and all that stuff. No, we don't have the budget.
Uh, But I guess Akagi compared to Saki, I'm kind of guessing people were into Saki more,
Yeah, I don't think I actually.
just for the entertainment part.
Yeah, I mean, I do like how Akagi kind of shows like the sleight of hand and like
Yeah.
the old style kind of thing. And actually, I
Uh-huh.
was watching more of the live action on the Washizu arc, and that was pretty interesting too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they recently had a was it like final episode? Was it? It's in a drama right now, right?
I believe so, yes. So Akagi finally ended after, how many years?
Gosh,
20.
I was still reading that thing when I was in like middle
20
school.
22 years? I don't know.
22 years. Yeah.
And then right now it's
20
on a
give or take.
live action drama. It's on the TV series, and
Yes.
but I was not following that much. But I watched the first one and second one.
Mm.
I need to go.
I think
full-
it's on YouTube, right? It's on YouTube.
No, those are secret. I think.
Oh, okay. It's not supposed to be on YouTube. Okay.
spoilers.
But eventually,
Well-
I think it's gonna come out on the Crunchyroll. Maybe.
Oh, Crunchyroll.
Maybe.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure.
Hmm. Let me see. So Ryan, when it comes to these Japanese pop culture clubs, did you guys cover the drama aspect too, or was it pure anime?
I think it was just pure anime part of it. That's all.
Oh,
And
okay,
then
okay.
just playing the game.
Hmm. I see. Because I know there's some dramas out there where, maybe older ones where there's a couple scenes of people playing mahjong. Like the most recent one that comes to my mind is Dr. X. It's about a doctor, an amazing doctor, but one of her hobbies is to play mahjong with her roommates and her coworkers.
Hmm.
And they were using I think it was a Rex, if I remember right, one of the almost Rexes. And then each time, because it's a drama, there's this one segment where they always play, right? And then some people that understand mahjong, they kind of look at the hands and we're like, that's kind of unrealistic, or oh, so that one's actually pretty good, and all that. So mahjong's in a lot of it is a Japanese culture. I think it's safe to say that it's kind of twined in there some way somehow. Um, and then yeah, it just went abroad, went to Europe, went to here in the U.S. and there's tournaments now in the U.S. Obviously, there's been some side events, major ones that has been announced, and we'll go ahead and segue into the Emerald Coast Riichi Open, which you are one of the main event staff, one of the coordinators of this event.
Yes.
And if we could get more information on the tournament, and like, let's say the format, are any slots still available? Masa right now I think is displaying some of the details.
Oh, there it
That's
is.
on the website. Yeah, it's right there. Entry fee, the dates, everything's there. But yeah, if you could give us like the rules, the format, and if somebody wants to participate, if they still can.
Yeah. Pretty much following the same format that Donnie used over in Dallas. It'll be 8 hanshan. The first 6 will be placements. They'll be the tables will be randomly assigned, and then we'll cut the scores in half, and then break off the top 8 from everyone else. And then with those scores, they'll carry on to round 7, which I think we'll do evens and odds on evens on one table, odds on the others, and then we'll like serpentine the rest of the field with the remaining tables, and then once we get round 7, we'll go to round 8. So we'll break off the top 4 from the 5 through 8, and then pretty much break everyone into groups of 4 based on placement, and then go from there. It is WRC rule set, so you have to be familiar with those, and I think we finally updated the rules on the Eventbrite page there. And fees $45. That includes the food there and the materials. We'll be getting some sets, and if you want to sign up, we do have the Eventbrite link in our group here. It's posted right at the front here. We also have it on the UT page right here underneath.
Okay.
So definitely make sure to register. There should be plenty of spots left. I mean, we can handle up to like 48 people if need be. Mind you, last year we only had 8 because I pushed out a month beforehand. That's oversight on my part. But yeah, it sounds like we're gonna have a lot of people this time.
Nice.
Awesome. Will any chance the finals be streamed?
Probably not. I'm not.
Or recorded, maybe.
Streaming. Not sure about that part too.
Oh, okay.
I'm not one of a streamer, but I know some of my friends are streamers, but I'm not sure if they can, rig up something in time or not.
Okay.
I'll definitely be like sending out updates like every round. I'll probably definitely make sure that there's transparency. Everyone sees the scores. I'll probably have a Google sheet posted on the event page so everyone can see the scores as they come in, and just make sure everything's up to date.
Yes, and
Awesome.
during the rankers, once after I made a big mistake, and Ryan was the one helping me to create the Excel form right there, like in like 2 minutes, and he helped us to like keep tracking, and it was very very good, and so I'm not too worried about Ryan handle this tournament.
So of course, being a math teacher.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. Excel or a spreadsheet. certain things are made for certain people, I guess. Um, yeah, it's the thing is the formats. We had a spreadsheet before that we used. But if we change the rule sets, sometimes the same ones don't really apply.
Yeah, that makes
In
sense. You have
this
to.
case, yeah, and then it's trial and error, right? So, I know you guys done similar things in the past, but are there any tweaks that you notice when you maybe refine your spreadsheet?
Oh yeah, because last month we do league with our group,
Uh-huh.
and actually you kind
Uh-huh.
of had it on the page right there.
Uh-huh.
Last week we did Tenho rules for 4 player and 3 player, and then I had to
Mm.
look at and I'm like look at numbers like why are they not making sense? And with
Uh-huh.
Tenho, you got
Mm.
that Oka that you have to account for.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
So what I had to do was like, okay, put the raw score in, and then I had to do the plus or minus, and then the UMA, and then the Oka, and then everything
Mm.
zeroed out. And I'm like, thank goodness it worked. Yeah, anytime you switch between like Tenho to WRC, yeah, there it is right
Uh-huh.
there. Actually, you can
Yeah.
click on it if you want.
Mm.
There should be the three, yeah, because if you go to the 3 player tab, yeah, I'm doing horrible this month so far, but it's the beginning of the month. But 3 player, I'm good. Yeah, you have to. It's beginning of the month. I can come back. We still have to resolve our championship too, but yeah, when we formulate the formula sheet, like what I do there, I make sure that, especially if it's a WRC rule set, I make notes. So like at the end of the game, if the reach does not go through, it gets lost. So I take note if there was any reaches lost, and then also
I
if
see, I
someone
see.
chumbos because people do it. I did it at Dallas.
Uh-huh.
That's my second official tournament jumbo. Yeah, I make note of that and just make sure that when I do my zero or when I do that sum there, the sum check there,
Mhm.
then I make sure it all zeroes out. Or if there was reaches and combos, that it comes out to the right number. Yeah.
Okay. So trial and error, refining the spreadsheet all the time, and it's shared right there. Being, I guess, a math teacher, I guess the refinement doesn't take too long. It's relatively fast.
Yeah, and then also just have the sparks of creativity. Like, not, as I was
Yeah.
helping Asa, I was like, wait a minute, if it gets to round 4, he's probably going to want to know exactly what the differences in scores are. So I very quickly
Mhm.
did like a little
Mhm.
lookup, and then
Mhm.
so if someone was first, it added the right UMA to it, and if someone was second,
Mhm.
it had the right UMA. And if the numbers changed, it
Mhm.
made up for it right away. And I'm like, I'm glad I did that. That helped out Masa because I was able to keep those. Because as those hands between Shisha and Exy were going back and
Uh-huh.
forth, and they were taking over the lead. Yeah, my score
Oh.
sheet was keeping track of it too.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
That was the moment. Like everybody thought XC was going up, but there was the right time because of the Ryan's help. We exactly knew like Shisho took over,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then the good thing is like George XGO and Mio-kun is catching actually the moment during their
Yeah.
live stream. So
The commentary. Yeah.
they're really good.
Mhm.
Those things like also people like who watch it, they think everyone can do it like right away, right? But actually when you do it, it's pretty tough.
Mhm. They
Yeah.
can do it a little.
Yeah. Doing is different. I mean, you could prepare certain things and expect certain things, but it's the regular stuff that when it does happen and how you kind of react and take care of it is something that I guess people that run events could only understand. Um, Ryan, when it comes to the upcoming Emerald Coast, I know you're not going to do this by yourself, but how many people do you have that's going to be helping out as maybe judges, reception, announcer, all that?
I want to say at least 2 at the moment.
Uh-huh.
If you go back to the page there, you see Val. She actually runs the card shop that we play at.
Hmm.
So I
Yes.
have her on standby just in case there's like any rules discrepancies and things like that. If I need someone that
Uh-huh.
that have
Uh-huh.
she's played a little bit, but she doesn't know the people as much as I do. So if there needs to be that
Mhm.
unbiasedness, I can send it to her. We do have
Mhm.
some of our local players that are volunteering as well.
Awesome.
So probably have to
Uh-huh.
maybe 1 or 2 more. But of
Uh-huh.
course, I'll have people on standby to fill the seats. That way, we have a multiple of 4, so everything runs
Yeah.
smoothly.
Mhm. So the card shop owner, does she play?
Uh, she hasn't played as much. We taught her like once or twice, and she's played a little bit,
Uh-huh.
but she
Oh,
knows
okay,
enough.
okay.
Like, so when we describe, oh, he hit me with a manga, or yeah, he hit me with a Yakuman out of nowhere. Yeah, she knows. She knows
Oh,
the
okay,
score at
okay.
least.
Got it, got it. Okay, got it.
Yeah, but
That's
she's also
awesome.
familiar with different rules. Like she judges Magic tournaments, Yu-Gi-Oh, the new Dragon Ball Z
Uh,
card game, Force of Will.
uh-huh.
So it's just
Mhm.
another game that she that knows the rules about. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And this might be something that, I know I asked you last time, but I gave this analogy of this simple mahjong game called Donjara that's pretty popular in Japan, where all the tiles there's a character, like let's say Pokemon or whatever anime, right, or Dragon Ball. There's all these tiles, and you only pong. This is like the kids' version of mahjong. And then there's mahjong, the actual mahjong. And then there's Yu-Gi-Oh, and then there's like the Magic the
Yeah.
Gathering. So, I gave this analogy. Hopefully, it's not going to offend anyone, but I personally think Magic is a little harder because of the rules and the strategy and all that stuff. And then I was interested in the transitioning of some of these card games, maybe not just Magic in general, but these strategic card games going into Mahjong, and maybe even backwards too. Like, because you're still using your head. There's a strategic plan that all these players have in mind. With your club base, how do you see the transitioning, or even the transitioning rate, maybe, like how many people from the card game actually goes into mahjong, and how good they are, may or may not be.
Like we probably get like maybe a couple here and there that
Uh-huh.
after we play in the store because we play in the open. Like we have a dungeon, but
Uh-huh.
we keep the door open so everyone can walk in and learn. And sometimes
Okay.
we'll play
Oh,
on the outside.
it's
So
called the
yeah,
dungeon.
yes, yeah. The
Nice.
way the way our card shop is like you have the open playing area, and then along the wall
Yes.
there's 4 separate rooms which you call dungeons. Dungeon
Okay.
A is pretty much our Mahjong Dojo. Yeah, we have all our
Ah,
materials in
okay.
there. And actually we have a Mimic now. Mimic is some if you haven't played RPGs, it's a treasure chest that you think it has treasure, but it's really the monster tries to give you. But we
Okay,
put all of
okay.
our stuff in the Mimic. We call it Miru.
Oh.
So of course you guys can to see. So it's like, hey, see that Mimic there? Gotcha. Yeah. But yeah, recently we had a couple of Magic players started to learn it, and they picked it up
Mm,
pretty quickly. Um,
mm.
it's just get through the rules, and because you're like in Magic, you have to construct your deck a certain way. Here you have to
Yes.
construct your hand a certain way.
Uh-huh.
And then I also mentioned like when you interviewed me last, uh,
Uh-huh.
there's types of Magic players. Like there's a combo player, there's an aggro player, a mid-range control.
Uh-huh.
We can kind of see that come over because we do have one player that, yeah, aggro. So you hit quickly and
Mhm.
try to go out quickly too. That
Mhm.
happens.
Mhm.
Maybe a little too much,
Mm.
but we have those mid-range people that you like to build into mid-game, make sure they build a decent hand to hit for big points near the middle of the hand.
Uh-huh. Mm.
I kind of lacked on control because technically there are some controlling elements, especially if you call reach. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
controlling your one's progress at that point. You're stalling
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
so there's a little bit of that, and I'm not sure about combo because again, combo is
Mm.
like you have to set up. So I really see that. I mean, you
Uh-huh.
can like reach on and get the combo that way, but I don't really see combo being a thing.
I see. I see.
I think
Like a
Yeah.
I think pink combo is like easier. Pink combo with
Tanyao
like
Pinfu.
Tanyao pink
Oh,
or
combo in that
Jikubi.
respect, yeah. So yeah, combo setting up your hand. Okay, I can see that then. Yeah,
Yeah, pink with the
Just setting up your hand.
Sanshoku or pink with the Itsu.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
an
makes more
ideal
sense.
situation.
Yeah, so combo
So,
can be then.
so some of these players that you've seen transition, are they more, would you say, aggressive when it comes to winning, or are they more defensive?
Well, when they start out, and this is probably for most of our players anyway, yeah, they're aggressive because sometimes when we teach them to do the melts first, and
Yes,
because they're
yes.
getting used to making melts, they'll call more. But
Mhm.
it takes a while for them to call at the right time.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. And at your current location, how many of the players that you have right now are kind of coming from the Japanese pop culture club that you established in the past?
Uh, Probably like a few nowadays. It's been like maybe a few
Okay.
years, but most
Okay.
of them
Okay.
have gone to Pensacola, and we do have a couple of players. I'm not sure if Joe's watching, but hey, Joe, if you are, he's
Mm-hmm.
pretty much in contact with everyone over there. And so he'll
Oh,
play
okay.
games there, or they'll come over here.
Okay. And then they graduated, of course. They're no longer a student.
Yes,
Yeah.
actually, some
So,
of them are pursuing masters. Actually,
oh, okay, okay. But they're still connected with you through Mahjong and I guess the love of the pop culture in general, I guess. So,
yeah.
yeah, that's pretty cool. Shisho, I don't know if I should say this, but so when he won the Rankers Carnival, he's a little shy, right? So he didn't
Oh,
really give a winner's speech to a point where we kind of wanted. But later on, he pretty much said, "Hey, I think I should have said this." And what he said was, um, he thinks that Mahjong is a international communication tool or a
mhm.
platform. As you could see in the events, when we play, granted everybody's American, but all the nationalities in WRC, it just brings so many countries and people from different nationalities together, and it's a language, is what he said. Mahjong is a language.
Yeah, I
You
can see that.
speak through your tiles, is what he said. So I was like, it's pretty deep words.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, you're still communicating with your previous students and meeting new students, and you're still teaching. Not only you're teaching math, but you're also teaching mahjong with the club, and it just yeah. When Shisha said that, I was like, okay, yeah, that's true. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah, communication tool. Yeah, because you have to, you are observing your other opponents, and some minute details. I think may have mentioned this in one of the previous episodes, but these mannerisms, um, trying to keep that poker face when you're supposed to, but you can't because you're too honest.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my
So
tells. I know they exist, but then I also notice other people's tells too. So
yeah. Mm.
just balancing that part.
So how long has it been since you've played at your current location?
Oh, the whole time I've been playing, so about 7 years. Mind you, the card shop
Ah.
has moved locations in the town. It's just gotten bigger, and they have more players for other games as well.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
And
so
then you
yeah,
guys play. How often do you guys play? Every week?
we
Every other week?
play three days a week in person.
Okay. And
Sundays,
then
Wednesdays, and Fridays.
A
uh-huh.
lot, a
And I
lot.
know today is Tuesday, but usually you hold Tenho Tuesdays.
Yes.
Yes. Mainly with players in your club, or is it open to others?
It started out as like from Dallas 2017. Like Peter wanted to play more online, so we all started playing
Mm.
together. And then after Dallas this
Mm.
past year, Tina's been gathering more people in it, so we got a lot more people playing on Tuesdays now.
Mm. I see, I see. With red fives or without?
Mostly red fives. There have been a couple of days where I actually jumped into the non-red five room.
Oh, okay, okay. I see. And Hanchan or Tompu?
Hanchan.
Oh, okay, okay.
Hanchan with the normal 10 house set, so if someone
I
bankrupts,
see, I
yep,
see.
it's done.
Oh, I
Okay.
see.
Eh, mm. How often or how long do you guys play on Tuesdays?
Normally I think she usually sets up at 6:30 our time, and then it probably
Uh-huh.
goes until like midnight if anything.
Oh, okay, okay. So nice 6 hours, few hanchans in there.
Mhm.
And we got a comment from Junko, who I used to live in Miami but never been to Emerald Coast. Food and culture are same as Miami, is the question.
Um, I'm not sure about the food. I mean, food's more seafood. I'm not sure if it's like Latin influence or anything, but we got lots of fish houses, crab
Mm.
shacks along like in Destin area. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've never been to Florida in general.
Oh. I got another question from Masa.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, are you Miami Heat or Orlando Magic?
Oh,
A
I have.
basketball question.
I'm a basketball
Oh,
freak.
um. Well, with respect for Florida, I should say Miami.
Oh, okay.
I'm really not into sports as much. Like I can watch a game and see what's going
Oh,
on, but I don't track sports too much.
Oh,
have you been to one? Have you been to a game?
I've been to a game. Uh no, honestly, like if it's an actual football game, it was probably my high school's football game. That was it.
Ah, okay. I see, I see.
I do actually. My university that I went to, University of West Florida in Pensacola, they actually
Uh,
started a football team. I actually kind of want to go to see one of their games.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I am
because I
a
mean that.
I am a Clipper fan for 20 years now,
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
and
he's been a Clippers fan. So
living
not
in the
jumping on the bandwagon like some people.
yeah,
So
living
he's
in
been a true fan for 20 years.
living
Oh
in the
wow.
LA as a Clipper fan is really tough.
It is tough. It is tough. I'm a San Antonio Spurs fan. Also, living LA is well, I'm no longer in LA, but it's there's a bittersweet thing. But I pull out the Tim Duncan card, and no one could talk smack about him. Everybody loves Tim Duncan, so
There you go.
I, wa-
yeah.
I was wearing the Clipper t-shirts like 20 years ago at the park. Even like little kids was pointing me and I'm laughing.
Yeah, because if you're in
Wow.
LA, you either wear Dodgers blue or Lakers purple and gold.
Yeah.
It's one or the other, or LA Kings at the time,
Yep.
depending on which era you're from.
Oh,
But yeah, that. So other than mahjong, this was another question that I personally had. What do you do? What do you like to do other than playing Riichi?
pretty much gaming in general. When I'm not working, I'm at the cartel playing different games.
Mm.
I'm in a couple of Dungeons and Dragons campaigns.
Oh,
And
okay, okay.
and then last week we actually had a game day for this game called Takinoko. Um,
Takenoko.
Mm.
which if you are familiar with Catan, it kind of is like Catan. You have
Mm.
tiles
Uh-huh.
and a panda and a gardener, and the
Uh-huh.
objective is to build this garden for this panda, and
Uh-huh.
the panda gets to eat different bamboo, different colors of bamboo, and then you have to
Uh-huh.
construct the garden in a certain way, and you get all these objective points. So
Mm.
I usually like playing that game there. Some other games I do like playing. We have one called Sagrada that I picked
Mhm.
up last year, actually, kind of from Donnie's group, and
Mhm.
it's pretty much like Sagrada, like the tile glass, glass paintings, I guess, or stained glass walls. You
Okay.
pretty much make that by drafting dice that represents a color. So we
Mm.
play strategy games like that.
Mhm.
Also, I have a bunch of, oh gosh, I have like all the Ascensions. Ascension's a deck building card game. I
Oh.
I actually got down to the last one and bought it. But
Oh.
it's a deck building game that you acquire resources and defeat enemies and try to have the most honor. So
Okay.
pretty much game like
Mm.
card
So
games, board games.
in person board or card games.
A
Oh, I
little
guess
bit of both.
mahjong is one of them too. So.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, mostly it's board, and then Ascension's probably like the primary card game. And then
Oh, okay.
every now and then, like if someone gives me like a Magic deck, I'll play like a multiplayer game or something like that. I don't
Oh,
love
okay,
the game
okay.
completely. It's just
Mm.
it's too expensive to keep up. Mahjong, I just have to have one Mahjong set and I'm good. But then again, I have a bad habit of buying a bunch of them. I'm staring at 3 right now.
Collect.
Yeah.
uh, do, your Riichi Mahjong members, do any of them play other games with you as well? Like on these other off nights?
Yeah. I mean, the games I listed, some they play. Also, they play other games as well, like League of Legends, Overwatch,
Mm-hmm.
other board games, whatever they can find. That's kind of
I see. Okay. As we get another comment, this is from Japan. I think Shiro Shinken Gundan was
Oh, Shiro-san.
commenting throughout the stream.
He's making a lot of
So let
comments
me
these days.
translate this real quick for you. 海外でもTenho wa. So it seems like Tenho, the game Tenho, is popular outside of Japan as well. But this, you know what, this might be a question more for us. It doesn't seem like it's right. But he's asking, Tenho is, it seems like it's popular outside of Japan too, but is there, in Japan, there's, you know, oshihiki is, I guess, the reading, the balance between when to
Push.
do offense and when to do defense. There's like textbooks, and then there's certain strategy books out there, but is there any in English, is this question.
No.
The fast answer is no. There unfortunately not any. But there are talks in this. There have been rumors saying that, you know, so and so is going to be translating certain individual, certain group. There is something similar along this line that we would like to announce towards the end of the show. There is a pretty nice announcement. We hope it'll be beneficial for our community. So the answer is right now technically no. And the closest thing that we might have is videos. And the videos, majority of them are in Japanese, as you guys may know. There are some things in English, like I think Ryan mentioned this earlier too, but the Dainachiba, you know,
Read
the
book
book,
one.
the ebook, and the videos that we've seen in the past. There's you know, some of even our players, you know, we see how-to guides and maybe some basic strategies, like, you know, Suji, Kabe, you know, stuff like that. But we hope to make more, us as a group, and I'm pretty sure people out there, other organizations will do the same. Maybe, I don't know, Ryan, if you have any ideas of doing something like that for the community. Maybe it's a bit time consuming, but I don't know. Did you ever think of something like that?
Possibly, but with my schedule and everything, I probably wouldn't be able to do it. Like maybe math calculations, if anything.
I see.
It should be
Oh
that
yeah,
way,
yep.
but-
The math professor. Maybe providing another spreadsheet. That's a way to
That's
you know,
really
kind
help.
of- yeah, that is a huge help. Or maybe even a how-to to make these Mahjong spreadsheets rather than just, you know, downloading it. You know, you could say, hey, to customize it. But then again, that would probably just be an Excel tutorial rather than a Mahjong
yeah,
tutorial.
and I'd be happy to help. Honestly, I mean that's how I do my grade books for my classes. It's just do this command, add all this stuff, knock out the lowest scores. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ryan, I have a question. Everyday game and also your tournament, it's gonna be the hand shuffle, right?
Yes, hand shuffling. Yes.
Okay. So I think those are the stuff not really talk about in like English community. So I would like to show one of the video. This is not like perfect, but there's a pro group. It's called 101 101 Kyogi Mahjong. And then they are still playing with the hand shuffle. They try to stick with the traditional way
In Japan,
in Japan. And then
where majority of the people play with auto tables now.
and
Which I'm missing those. By the way, I'm missing those.
so,
We might have a solution for that too, but that'll come later.
so let's just quick look at those YouTube. It's on the YouTube, so I don't know how to control the volume. So if it's too much volume, I'm sorry. Okay, ready?
みんなこう混ぜるんです役割がちゃんとあってトンチャとチャーチャが主に
So it said when they're shuffling, dealer and the west needs to mainly shuffling, and then
なんちゃとペーチャーはそれを補佐する
and then south and the north, they need to support or assist.
Mm.
Oh, so something goes.
じゃないと4人の手がぶつかったらもうガチャガチャ
That makes total sense because
Yeah.
everybody
親が
shuffles, you
親からこう
shuffle,
積み始めて
but at the end of the day, it's not really shuffle, right? I think I've run into a similar situation multiple times, so I didn't know that. That's actually a good tip.
And then dealer start building the wall.
親がこうトイパイプがこうシュッと位置を決めるわけです。
So the dealer starts.
And then once dealer is
Okay.
set, and then dealer needs to decide the position.
ね、でその親の位置に合わせてそれに垂直になるように
And then south and the north needs to set it based on the dealer's yama.
Ah, okay.
And then this is most important part.
なんちゃと定茶がこう合わせて最後にシャーチャが合わせるっていう
Ah,
Then the
okay. So I
west,
see.
That
west,
makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
west
East
to how do you say close.
Mm.
Those are kind of helpful, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It doesn't make any change, but it looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
It looks really neat that way too.
And
Yeah.
and
Would
get-
this be considered manners, or would this be more of a tutorial, how-to strategy? What, Masa, what would you categorize this as?
traditional? I don't know.
Traditional? Okay.
After I watched this guy's video, when I play in the hand shuffle, I try to do this one, but only some
Best practices, I guess.
yeah, some of the player knows about this, and then so when I'm in the west, I'm waiting like when everyone finished,
Mm.
and then do it at the last. But
Okay.
people thinks I'm very slow to build a wall.
But you're used to doing it that way, the proper way. So
Yeah.
But it's kind of good to know, right?
Yeah. That's pretty interesting.
we're gonna have to try this tomorrow.
Mm.
Against tomorrow, let's do this.
But
But-
with this group, they have like a lot more small details how to play and the manner-wise playing mahjong. To covering everything is too much, so let's just focus on how to build a wall
Mm.
today.
Mm.
Hope
This is pretty cool.
yeah. So, okay,
Yeah.
that's it from me.
Okay. If because I think most of the people out there, they're actually using hand shuffle tiles, the traditional way to do it. If we could throw in a mini segment like this, if people want, I think we could do that. Because I think that's totally cool. The hand shuffling, the dealer and the toy man, the West person shuffling, that makes total sense. Rather than everybody putting their hand in and, you know, it seems like it's getting shuffled, but it's actually not. More hands probably means maybe more nails digging into your skin, so less likely that people would get hurt. Has that happened to you, Ryan, where somebody with nice long nails just kind of digs right into your skin and you're like, oh,
I
Not much?
happened to me, but I think I do it a little too much sometimes. And it's by accident too.
yeah. I mean, of course, it's not intentional, but
Yeah.
if two people are doing that, that's actually a pretty good. That's a great idea.
I even got caught using the auto table by the lady has like a long nail and I was bleeding.
Hopefully, that's not their strategy.
But by the way, she was trying to do the sakizumo. That's why she hit my hands.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a totally different issue. That's totally on her.
But before,
name,
yeah,
No names.
yeah, before I was joining to the LAPOM, I didn't try to find out more of those details, like how to or like a lot of manner stuff, because I really didn't care. But after I started LAPOM, and then I figure I need to learn a lot of stuff, and then and plus we need to translate those what's going on in Japanese margin scene into the English community too. And after they got catch up, then if they could make the change, and that would be maybe better with the culture. But without knowing those and then changing the way, some of the way, it's to me I don't think that's a cool stuff. So let's say there was a Nico's post with who needs to start pick the who needs to break the wall. That was kind of interesting.
Oh, there was that post.
Yeah.
I do remember seeing that post.
Before I didn't know, but yeah, at the tournament at least, the dealer has to break the wall without the cut with the six. I think that's the way right now in Japan. And the Dyna was posting like interesting comment, and then some of the games right now in Japan they try to not even rolling dice, just start with the 7 with the dealer every time, so that way they don't get confused or like who needs to break the wall. That's a kind of cool idea, but at least try to break the wall by dealer. If they practice in like month or 2 months, that's not a big issue. So
yeah, I will say that was a learning curve when I was at Ranker, because it was my dealership, but I see like Tepe doing it like that. I'm like, whoa.
I know, like
I could barely get that half done. Like once he told me about it, I'm like, I kind of did it and it worked. Maybe I was off by 1, but it did transition pretty smoothly when as dealer started. Yeah.
Without noting those things, like I think you guys think, oh, what a jerk, kind of mean guy. It
does come off like that, but
right?
with respect to time though, and with respect to time and getting through the time or the round in 60 minutes, I can understand why that's in place though. So because of the sentiment that you want to make sure you get to the rounds quickly. No, I totally understand. That's why I didn't think anything of it afterwards.
Yeah, but honestly, we try to play with 60 minutes, or regular play is like 50 minutes at LAPOM, because we try to avoid those unusual stuff, and also we need to try to hurry up for the practice for the WRC, because they all set the time on like 1 hour 30 minutes, right? But a lot of things could happen. So like smooth game operation is we think that's kind of key to get success. However, LAPOM members they're playing too quick.
Sometimes they are playing quick.
So they need to get slowed down, and manner wise. And then I think US player needs to get used to more games, and then needs to hurry up in between the games, or building the wall, or points, point sticks transfer, like those things, like we should work on till next 2020. Then and also the Japanese pro is not used to the hand shuffle, so let's show them some cool way, then get impressed. And not only that, it looks so cool.
Yeah. I remember at WRC when we talked to some of the pros, and even in the WRC DVDs, if you guys haven't watched that, we were playing. I think playing that constantly at LAPOM now. But what happened was they said that compared to the Paris event, they've noticed that the non-Japanese players definitely got stronger, definitely got faster. So, that was, how many years in between? 3, 4?
3.
So that's 3, right? So that's a good step forward. So this next one, some of the U.S. representatives, if we could show them what another 3 years could have done or has done, there's no ignoring, right? There's maybe there might be another American pro other than the ones that we currently have, so it's gonna be interesting.
Yes.
It's gonna be interesting, and with more of these events going on, I think people will get more experience. There's a lot more league play going on now after we've been interviewing some of the local groups, people utilizing more spreadsheets and actually keeping score now. Because so some early on, I remember when I first heard that Riichi Mahjong is getting popular here in the States, the places that I've heard, they just play casually, they have fun, which is the most important thing. You have to have fun first, but we're seeing more people recording their points and keeping track and all that, so it's a good step forward.
Yeah, but that has to come to a balance, because there have been a couple of times in our league play, like we were into it, like especially when we were training for Dallas. Like there was one month, like constantly going at it, like day after day. I'm like, yeah, guys, you have some people here that don't want to play league, so we kind of got to okay, let's just have one league table and one non-league. That way we get more members in. So that's what we kind of now, just making sure that, because we actually got couple of new people now, so we don't want to shove them away from the league play.
Yeah.
But we do want to teach them and train them too. So we keep it to that. Just have one if we have multiple tables.
Yeah. We have that issue too, right, Masa, at
Yes.
home?
Yes.
There's a gap between the people that want to have fun, but also people that want to have fun but still be serious at the same time. And then there's this fine balance that we're constantly searching for, but we're still looking for it after so long.
I think
It's really hard.
Yeah, I think those are the things that's gonna happen like every club, not only in the United States or Euro. That's also happening in Japan too.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That is true.
we call like casual games, and then I'm calling like hardcore games or like hardcores. But in Japan they call like enjoy-ze and gachi-ze, right? So
Yeah. I hear that reference a lot.
yeah, both. It's like there's no right or wrong, so it's both correct.
Same thing with Mahjong.
Yeah,
There's no right or wrong.
Yeah, most
There's,
important part is enjoying the game.
Yeah.
However, I think we need to set the hardcore, because eventually hardcore they're gonna lose. How do you say? I don't know how to explain, but they're not satisfied with their playing the game with the casual. They need to play more competition kind of style.
Yeah. The competitive aspect. I guess all games, right, Ryan? When it comes to games in general, there has to be some kind of competitive aspect.
Yeah.
Having fun is, of course, the most important thing, but no one's going to go into a competitive, conceptual game and be okay with losing fourth every time. They want to win first at some point, right? That's the objective.
Yeah,
So,
to win. And then also,
right.
if you're losing it too, I mean, don't be down about it too. I mean, use it as a
Yeah.
learning experience and move forward. I mean,
Yeah.
I still get my fourth place, but even then, I'm like, yeah, I should have done that play. I shouldn't have fed him.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just have to keep moving forward and keep a positive mind, honestly.
Mhm.
And if you get too serious, don't be afraid to take like a day or two off or a week off. We have some people that they put themselves in competitive things like in other games too. So when they get to that point where they like tilt, as we say, then
Yes.
yeah, they got to take a break for a little bit and come back to it. Yeah,
It's like sports. Well, it is a sport. It's a
like esports. Yeah,
sport
kind of
that's
thing.
on the table. Yeah. So, having a competitive mindset is definitely good. We won't say it's bad. That's something that we want to push. Competitiveness will rise more groups and teams.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for the community. It's good for the sport is what we believe. And to do that, there has to be more content, right? So strategy stuff. Like in the comments, there's books. Unfortunately, they're not in English just quite yet. We're doing what we can. And Masa, is this a good time to announce?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Furi.
So there is a blog site that's pretty famous in Japan. It's called Mahjong Watch. Some of you guys may have heard of it. It's a full-on Japanese site, but then they have blogs regarding like strategy, manners, etiquette, you name it. They've been around for a long time, and they have content. It's in Japanese though, but they have content. So we Riichi out, pun intended. We Riichi out to them, and they responded real fast. We told them what we envision and who we are and all that stuff. And yeah, they blessed us with us allowing to officially translate their content and share it with everybody, not just the US, but the English community in general. So we actually got an official blessing from them in writing. So we got that. So yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna start that. We also, as promised, and I think our last episode, we have an agreement with one of the bigger, I don't know if it's the biggest, but one of the bigger Mahjong YouTube content provider or online content provider. We have something going on with them, and I personally promised that I would provide some kind of content regarding the videos by the end of the year. We're gonna do this collaboration with Mahjong Watch alongside the video part. We're definitely gonna do that. So yeah, that's our announcement for today. We're gonna continue to do whatever we can. We're gonna continue to do Reach Out to Mahjong until we interview every single Mahjong player out there. And once we do, we're gonna do it all over again. We're gonna go round 2. We're gonna go into South round. So we're gonna do it again.
The Southern episodes.
Well,
Yeah, the Southern episodes.
but that's
The
gonna be
retakes.
a lot of work.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a lot of work. A lot of people. Hey,
lot
but
of
we're
work.
gonna have fun though. We're gonna have fun.
And
And,
we need a translation team. We we need someone's help for this community.
That's right. I know there's people out there that can, but you know, like everybody, we sometimes get busy and occupied with other stuff, and comes down to priorities and whatnot. So, if you can, reach out to us again, pun intended. Let us know. You know, let's all do this together. Because you know, we've learned from multiple times we can't do things alone. It's a community. We might take the initiative to start something off, but you know, at the end of the day, it is the community. So we're gonna do whatever we can, come up with new ideas, and act on it as soon as we can. So, yep, that is our announcement. A little big secret announcement that we had planned for today. Ryan, thank you so much for your time. I know you're in Florida, which means the time differential, the time zone gap is more than. I think this is the longest time gap we've had. Because you're in Florida, the East
Yeah.
Coast.
Well,
Yeah.
technically, we're on the Panhandle, so we're technically in Central. So there's only 2
Oh,
hours.
okay, okay.
Yes.
All right, it's on that. Okay, so you're tied with Zach and the Oklahoma guys.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Will we have a tiebreaker? We'll see. We will see in the future run.
I'm further east.
Yeah.
I win. Until you get someone on the East Coast. Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much do next week. I think we said that we're gonna do it on Wednesday. I don't know if we announced it yet, but our special guest next week will be on Wednesday because that person has something going on Tuesdays. We will ask him a little more detail on what that Tuesday thing is. Yeah, Ryan, thank you so much for all the info. Again, Emerald Coast Riichi Open, it's still open. We're still in talks on who we're trying to send. Scheduling is kind of key, but we definitely want some LAPOM players to go to all the events. That is our goal. So if we don't see you at that, Ryan, we will see you at maybe the New York North American Open. Any officially announced tournaments? I'm trying to think right now, but I don't think there are any as of quite yet. We hope to see you before WRC, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Definitely for sure. Any last words?
Yeah, if you do Ranker again.
Yes.
I'll
Ranker. Yes.
So
yeah,
I'll help.
Okay. So yeah, Rankers again will be held next year. Might not be on Memorial Day weekend, might be a week before because we don't want that to conflict with some of the local events going on. You know, that was another reason why we weren't able to gather some players that we invited because they already had obligations and all that. So yes, Rankers, more details on that again in the coming days. Masa, any last words for Ryan?
Ryan,
Yes.
are we Mahjong friend?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I
There we
love
go.
you. You're the second guy
think,
say yes.
After the 7th episode, the response has been faster. There's no hesitation on the yes now. So we're doing something right, Masa. We're doing something right.
Thank you very much, Ryan. He's a
Wait,
super nice guy, and he's very helpful. He's a very, very, very nice guy. So,
Yes. Yeah. Oh man, so another fun Tuesday night. Next week again. It won't be on Tuesday. It's gonna be on Wednesday. Detailed times will be announced in the very near future, so keep an eye out for that. Again, Emerald Coast Riichi Open. Can't stress that enough. This is gonna be. I mean, just look at that little image right there. That just itself should make you want to go.
Yes.
The Emerald Coast. So okay. Well, Ryan, talk to you soon. And we will end that here for today. So see you next week, guys. Bye.
See you.